Have you ever thought about how some people do not panic in the middle of the storm? The rest of us can hardly stand up in a breeze today. We're going to dive into the world of tough women who don't speak up. Warriors of serenity and learning how to. They calm down storms. This is an important film, not just another one. That can bring out a strength in you that I knew you didn't know about, but we want you to stick with us until the finish reading every word and see if you don't leave this place just yet. A little more unwavering, and do you think we've found something? Important together, something that changes the game. Sign up and come along with us, do you? Do you think you can handle this thing? Let's find out in a world where each person has a world of weird things, stories, and dreams that happen. There is a group that stands out because age, strength, and a certain air of a secret that makes us want to know more. We're talking about strong people who go against what most people expect and invite us to jump into a sea of old knowledge. Yes, they are like lights while keeping a firm grip on the storm and calm even when life's waves try to hurt them. And think about that for a moment. The fact that you are with a stoic woman, she has the kind of strength that doesn't need words to be understood. There's something about her that norms and gives people the freedom that doesn't come from being alone, but from a strong link to the essence of life as well as the rules of Stoicism. Stoicism is an old way of thinking that is present, that shows how powerful keeping your emotions in check is what makes life beautiful. Reason and the strength of getting by on your own. But what really makes these women are so interesting and nice. It's easy but still a good idea. They have understood the time problem. Something that a lot of us are still reading and figuring out. The art of living. You can't just avoid it though. Hurting or desperately looking for being happy is about getting through life's hurricanes with a built-in compass based on knowledge and logic in a culture that often values having too much impulsive feelings and acts and reliance on outside approval, rigid. In this case, women show a different road that makes you think about what you should see, to think about your values, and to build an inner fortress that can't be broken. Live a purposeful life with a clear mind that gives them the strength to face the most tough problems with each interesting. This video is a call to calm down. Look around this world to see what it means for women today to be quiet. Let's figure out the mysteries as a world. Of these amazing women, understand how they put Stoic ideas into practice in their lives, and maybe get ideas for how to take a smarter way on our own. You are strong and independent, just like they are. Are you ready for this trip? Let's go. First, into this adventure of discovering and learning about oneself, what silent women left behind about their lives, the problems they faced, and wins at every turn, at every story. You'll see that behind the even though it seems peaceful, there is a force that moves mountains with its unbreakable spirit that not only stays alive, but also grows in when bad things happen in life. What Stoic women look like at the heart of Stoic thought is a set of kinds of traits that, while they may look like they're made of steel and determination, really weave the core of what it means to be a woman who doesn't bend. Are not only great traits, they are important tools for getting around the rough seas of daily life. Let's begin with life. The amount of self-confidence a stern woman has, a sense of direction inside her, absolute confidence in her skills, that she doesn't need to hear about everyone to know what or who she is. It's not worth this much faith in yourself. Come from pride, but from deep knowing yourself and agreeing that direct conversation is okay. Another gem in her, Chelsea, she talks clearly and reason for not beating around the bush. Her conversations aren't a mess of half-truths. Speech or hidden plans. She says what she means, valuing the truth and being sincere, which makes real and clear conversation. Her ability to change shows that she can flow. with changes like water that turns into the thing that keeps it safe in times of as she changes and finds new paths. Proof that real strength doesn't lie in being rigid, but in being able to change. From this, natural leadership comes out. Mix of self-confidence and direct conversation and the ability to change. She doesn't rule by force, but show the way in her friends and family to rise with her. With her, her authority is a light. One order that is hard to understand is one of her most interesting. Some things about her stand out. That goes beyond what can be understood a puzzle or game that is not a mystery to be solved, but rather a call to look, getting a better sense of what not everything needs to be shown to be. True to her, not wanting to hear news shows that her honesty. She picks words that, by not getting involved, you can build, not destroy. In talks that put others down. She makes herself stronger, but also the structure of the neighborhood around her method that doesn't judge opens. She hears without doors and hearts quickly conclusion, knows before. Taking this skill to welcome without judging her makes her a valuable confidant, a real friend, and finally, her. Being strong in tough times is the core of who she is. She faces storms that don't refuse to feel pain, but with the understanding of struggle that one is in the challenge, that one grows, finds out that these traits are not. They are only for silent women. Goals for all of us, but in the stern woman, we see as a great example of how to follow rules in daily life that will last for a long time. And in some situations, it's a call to think about how we can improve our own lives. Add these traits to our products, maybe a little more in our daily lives, stern in the process. If you're still listening, get out of here. Right eye for your grade in the comments. I'm calm. Let's keep talking about how important emotions, self-sufficiency, and control. Imagine walking on a trail you've never been on before, where every step shows not only the beauty of the scenery challenges, and now think about crossing one on this road with an internal compass that leads you through calm and storm. This is the power to handle your feelings. And being self-sufficient are two important strongholds of Stoicism that women are today finding again and adding to their lives as a source of strength and inner peace. Let's talk about the journey of getting to know ourselves is a road that leads us to the very core of who we are, where our true values are not found in the noise and what people expect from the outside world. For women who choose to adopt tough lessons, this trip is like an adventure toward a state of inner peace that life's events don't shake storms. Now picture yourself on any day being under the stress of work society's hopes, even the little ones that you have every day. Getting angry at times like these, you gain the most emotional power. Ally. It lets you deal with these situations not as impossible to handle, not as problems, but as chances to practice being patient, understanding, and above all, endurance. It's as if in the place of peace, in the middle of all the chaos having inside of you. And what about having enough to live on your own isn't about cutting yourself off or saying that you have no need for anyone. It's about recognizing how well you can deal with problems. Make smart choices and be happy. Within yourself without always based on the approval or confirmation of others. That's real freedom history. People such as Senna and Marcus Aurelius. They were more than just thinkers. Learn how to master ERS in the art of living their words that are full of Stoic knowledge ring true. Mostly with women today, they teach us about how important it is to live based on our own ideals, not just they make us want to follow the crowd. Think about our lives to value the peace of mind and the search for the bigger picture, not just for ourselves, but for everyone, us. Then how can we use these lessons? These days, life starts with little things. Steps. Every time we decide to answer, we should act every time we want to. Before you judge us, please understand putting what Stoicism we're putting together and fortress that keeps us safe from the outside storms and leads us to a more satisfying and important. The truth is that the patient journey isn't simple. It takes guts, discipline, and most of all, being honest, with not only for women who venture down on this road. The rewards are priceless. Peace, strength, and a strong sense of being okay with who you are, and in this process of getting to know myself. Self-sufficiency and mental control, not only as tools, but also as a gift for a life well lived, and thickness as an example of feminine personality types with nature. Picture going through a thick forest. And the strange forest around you pulses in many different ways, each with its meaning and essence in this mess of, in life, you'll run into different kinds of. Each tree stands for a different. When it comes to women, there are the ones that are strong and powerful that dominate, setting the stage for alpha. Women leaders by nature that is just as striking as that of great oaks. And then there are the more wily and adaptable ones. The beta women like willows are able to change and flow with the help of the wind and adding to the world around them with their grace and strength. But as you go along, your eyes are drawn to a tree that stands out not for its grandeur or adaptability, but for its peace and steady presence of this tree, firm and royal, but not in a way that the tough woman is clamoring for attention. She looks like a very old sequoia, strong and with deep roots in the ground. Her strength doesn't change like the others does, come from wanting to control or shape herself to what other people want, but from her unbreakable bond with the heart of life and who she was. People don't often see calm women. With quick looks to see what she really, there is beauty and strength in the depth of, she is like a tree in that way, stands strong against the winds, not because she wants to be in the sun for herself, but because she knows that if she stays true to herself, she can offer. People who come close can find cover and shade. Her being there is a silent warning that in the middle of all the forests, in the chaos of life, there is a point of deep peace and quiet strength in this forest allegory. What kind of woman you are. Whether alpha-beta, also known as quiet, is very important in the variety and level of the ecosystem. But the tough woman, liked the unique tree she stands for, shows us something important about the beauty of silent strength and depth of. She shows us what kind of person she is by standing. We can face the truth and stand firm in our ideals. Trouble with grace, and at the same time, should be a place of peace and knowledge. For others, so as you picture this walk through the forest, and think about the different good points and pretty things that every woman brings a tree into the world. And remember that in the middle of the infinite variety in nature, the calm and strong, it's easy to see how strong a reserved woman is. Of ideas to help us get through the forest full of life, with peace and steadfast determination, show the how to use ancient advice to get ahead the difficulties of the present day in Stoicism in the 21st century. The audiobook, Century-Old Methods for the Modern Problems, Figure Out How to Grow. Resilience leads to wealth, and get your relationships stronger. Don't take this chance to get your copy. Now link in the comment that was saved, being strong and smart as tools for life. When we think of tough women, what do we usually? First thing that comes to mind is the idea of being strong, but not that strong and clear strength. It's more of an inside force, like power that is quiet, but feels strong in every movement, in every word. And when we talk about, they don't waste words directly. Getting in touch is like having a business card. For them, just think about talks, not going around the question, where every line is worth a certain amount of weight. It's cool and clean at the same time. Important, but what makes this communicative Asian so strong? Maybe it's the faith they carry inside them. It's not something they yell from the rooftops. It's more of a sparkle in their eyes. stance that says, I know who I am, and this certainty doesn't come from praise from other people, but from a deep being aware of their own skills. And there are limits, and if life changes, the script all of a sudden, well, that's where how well you can adapt to changes can shake a lot of us, but tough women see in these twists the chance to grow and change, move with the times, like a river that changes course, to the land's curves at all times. Going forward, this ability to lead by, then comes the story. It's not that they want to be, of course. People in charge are naturally drawn to by how honest they are and how they motivate people just by being themselves are. And that's true, my friend's leadership, the kind that gets people to do S without changing strong. Now think of someone who keeps an air of mystery about who leaves. You're interested and want to know more. That's women who are mysterious and quiet, have this energy that makes us want to take it apart. What's behind that peace and quiet? Strength, and they don't have much time for rumors or facts that don't matter to them, is about making something better. Having value, this separation from talking about minor things, is actually a call to look at what really judging other people is an easy thing to do in life. But they pick the more tricky way to understand that each of us is on a unique journey. With our own problems and wins, this method that doesn't judge makes me think about how complicated things are, things that people go through, and when rains come, how strong they are. It's no surprise that every problem is a chance to get stronger and learn. It's not to stay away from the fall, but to how to stand back up after it. Now there's a choice between feeling and thinking. A lot of people get this part wrong when it comes to Stoicism, especially when this is something women who do. A lot of people think that being silent doesn't feel cold, but you see, what's wrong with the balance? It takes skill to walk the line between feeling and reason. Women who are tough are real artists in this. They respect you and know that your feelings are not. They are enemies, and they are sending signs that, if understood correctly, can lead us on more sensible ways. Picture yourself in front of a tricky situation. One of those that get your mind and heart racing. WHL, it would be easy to just let a wave of feelings takes over. But the stern woman, she gets that wave and uses her feelings to surf it intelligence. She can tell what each feeling is. This is worry for what it is. She might think this, and now here's some fear. And maybe a little thrills. Instead of keeping these feelings inside, she accepts them. But that doesn't mean what it feels like to be ruled by them, saying, okay, I feel this now. But what can this teach me? How can it help me? Help me make a better choice, which is where reason comes in hand with feeling that this relationship lets her feel more calm about the situation. From this point of view, her choices become, she weighed what she did. Thoughtful. It's not a lie about how you feel, but the use of them on purpose to integrate. In a way, they get into the thought process. That makes the human experience better in order to make it poorer. This balance brings a lot of clarity when you can control your feelings with them. Decisions are made with thought and less about what to do in the heat of the moment and more about how to act in a manner was thought about. And that, my friends, strong. It's like having superpowers where you're not in real life, caught in the middle of mental storms, but can get through them with a strong to rudder in hand that isn't yet what stoic women do is practice restraint. A kind of alchemy. They change feelings into bringing them together with reason in us the way that each choice and action is fuller, more knowledgeable, and in the end, better people. That it's a lesson to feel deeply and being clear-headed is not the opposite of for free. And in this balance, we find more than just the core of Stoicism, but a fuller key and more a worthwhile life that lasts, and little things. And one more thing. That's a good way to describe silent women. The way they see the world, mainly when it comes to sustainability and simplicity, it's like they look at, say, less is more in your life. But I'm not just talking about having less stuff. It's about putting more value on what really things. Take a moment to think about the happiness of life, with the important to know that each thing, every move you make has a reason for it. For this is what simplicity is all about. Tough women. It's not just getting rid of stuff. Even though the house is also important. It's about getting rid of extra in life. Too many things that take our attention away from what is really important, and this quest for simple goes further. You already know that affects everything from the everyday choices to big life choices, for example, how they use work, connect to other people and to the earth. Choosing a healthy and a simple way of life is a strong phrase in a world that often seems to turn around even more by using environmentally friendly methods. They mean that everything you do matters, that each choice matters, and not just cutting down on usage, or even though recycling is a part of it. It's about being more aware of our place in the world, where people can understand that we are a part of a bigger plan, and that our health and well-being are connected to the health of our world. And then there's simplicity, with its main focus on the important by picking to live more women who are just tough. Find more space, more time and power for the things that really matter. And isn't it amazing? How by getting rid of extra stuff we find out more about us. All of a sudden there's clarity, where there was once only. There's a sense of meaning in the chaos that could have been hidden under lots of things we thought we needed, but that were really just making us feel bad. This way of living isn't just when it comes to space, it's a matter. Embrace minimalism to free up brain space and long-term habits. Silent women change what wealth means in a way that it's not about having more, but about being more. The life is more focused and planned, where every choice and move is made with Ness being fully aware of its worth, what these things mean. In the end, what reserved women show us is a way of life that is both old and incredibly important to the problems of. They invite us to ask what is really important, and they help us remember that. There are times when we need to stop adding things and start making things easier. It urges you to live a fuller life, more abundantly, with less strength in women at the in-work settings, you'll see the heart of many tough women's lives. Find a deep love for the environment and sustainability. Being simple. But let's clear this up first. They are being honest when they talk about minimalism. It's not just less is more. That's also true, but it's not about getting to the heart of things, making the choice to live in a way that every deed and everything has a meaning. Reason for this isn't limited to just what they own, but all of the choices are affected by. They do, whether they're in business or even just the act of taking in, and you know what's very interesting by accepting this simplicity. They find out how amazing freedom is. Not only about making room for things, but also about making life easier in a strange way, lighter and more satisfying. And this simple and healthy way of life, I guess it was meant to be that way. A continuation of this way of life, which shows a desire to live with intention, paying attention to what really. It's important that we have this talk now. Things that apply to the work world get even more interesting to think about. A work world, often fierce battles and strict rules, hierarchies. This is where the strong woman stands, out, but not because she needs to the attention, but because of how she to work is revolutionary. She uses the same calm, the rules of attention, resilience, and being simple and focusing on her self-skills and efforts, instead of getting lost in worries about other people, what they do and decide. This not only helps them get through the complicated parts of working conditions that are hard to beat serenity, but it also sets up a strong and respected presence in a way that keeps their honesty and putting their attention on what they can really in charge. They naturally rise to. It's not in places of real leadership, one that is led by power plays, but a leadership that encourages good change, that moves. And what's really impressive about this is how these women, armed with tough wisdom, changes not only their own lives, but also have a good effect on the places they're in. Like whether by being eco-friendly and simple choices that go against what's already been, either through their diet or their concentration at work. They show that following Stoic rules, ideas, is not only possible, but deeply powerful. If you've made it this far, I know you're really focused on your "it's about evolution," so leave a note. Stay strong and tough, and let's keep going. Dedication to growing as a person, and continuous growth is at the heart of the stiff woman beats a steady dedication to growing as a person and keeping going growth. But what does that really mean? In real life, let's untangle this. Together, think of someone who day after day picks not to look in the mirror only to fix their hair or clothes, but to do a deep study of oneself. Look for ways to be better than they were yesterday. That's the point of the commitment to keep going. Changes that make the quiet woman who she is. She doesn't think of personal improvement as a box to mark as done, but as an ongoing walk along a road to get somewhere. Every day is a blank page for her. Chance to find out something new toward a slightly smarter, stronger, and more complete version of herself. That learning all the time isn't just about getting new information or skills. That's also important, but this is about learning more about oneself in depth. The world around them and how their acts affect it can have a good effect on both of you. What's even more interesting is she sees every event and every task not as a problem, but as a chance to learn and grow. A wonderful chance for growth, that didn't happen. That project that didn't go as he had planned, for even those times of doubt and uncertainty of any kind, makes for her journey of personal growth. The patient woman knows that the way to good character isn't just built with huge wins, but also with small wins, hard lessons learned, and the guts to get back up every time they fall. She's not just. She's also getting stronger, making a bigger difference in the end by becoming the best. She turns into a source of information about herself, of ideas, and a real-life case of to face life with grace, bravery, and a good amount of stoicism. Wisdom, thanks for being here with us. Journey. If you liked it, check it out and leave your